When you hear the name Maytag, you probably think of washing machines, right? Well, the next time someone mentions Maytag, think beer. That's right, beer, because the great-grandson of the founder of Maytag is in the beer business and the wine business, too. We're visiting Fritz Maytag at his San Francisco brewery to see his homegrown brews in the making.
I just fell in love with the idea of a brewery. It was just thrilling. We're going into the fermenting room where we make Anchor Steam. You'll see the beer fermenting. This is Anchor Steam beer that was brewed yesterday. It's just reached the height of active fermentation.
Microbrewed beer may be commonplace today. But back in the 1960s, when Fritz Maytag bought an old San Francisco brewery, the big-name brewers dominated the business.
Don't think for a minute that in the old days the microbrewers didn't know that we were taking on Budweiser and Miller's and Schlitz, you know, the monsters. It would be like making cars in your garage and knowing that you were taking on General Motors and Toyota.
Today, Fritz's Anchor Steam beer is one of the most recognizable microbrews in the country, continuing a long family tradition of creating successful businesses.
I grew up in a little town in Iowa. My father was president of the Maytag Appliance Company, as had been his father before him and his father before him. And the company was famous for integrity of the product and of the business. And I think some of that rubbed off on me. The thing that maybe had the most effect was the pride that my father took in the blue cheese company that he had started. His pride in that little tiny company really rubbed off on me, perhaps more than the washing machine integrity tradition did. We're going to go across the street to the York Creek Winery, which is just across the street from the brewery. I started making wine on a very small scale about 10 years ago.
Fritz's York Creek Winery may not be as well known as his brewery.
This is the barrel room where we do all of the aging.
But he's just as passionate about making wine as he is about beer.
We make many, many different batches from many different varieties. And then blending goes on and tasting and decisions are made. It's Cabernet Franc from the 2005 vintage. Beautiful. We often brew all weekend. I mean, a typical tour, there's many people as there are in the whole brewery.
Pour a bunch of beers, talk about beer all day.
We sell everywhere, but we don't sell very much anywhere.
Oh, okay.
For Fritz, starting small and staying small seems to have paid off.
It's fantastic. It's nice and cold, and it's IPA-like.
They make an Anchor Bock that I think is like great. It's really good beer.
I still think the smallness, people still are attracted to it because of its small boutiquiness.
A success story of microbrewed beer made by a Maytag.
We brew all weekend, yeah.